So, Palfish finally fired me in February of 2022 after 6 years. So, first of all, let me back you guys up to summer 2021, which, if you are an online teacher, you vividly remember summer 2021. When the regulations rolled out and all the online teachers got notified about the salary cuts, a lot of people decided to take the students and go privately. I didn't do that. I just said, I'm done with it all. And I deleted the app and just said that I'm going to take a break and I'm going to try something different, like go private, but not from the students that I had on Palfish, but actually from students that I've met in real life, face to face. And I did the best that I could with what I knew at the time and the resources that I had around me. And it didn't work. It didn't work. So what was the next option that I had? Well, I decided to try DoorDash, and that was just getting started in a place called Craig, Colorado, where I was living for that 1 year in the cabin, which many of you probably remember. An unforgettable experience living at the altitude, the frigid temperatures, and just the loneliness and the remoteness. It was just an unforgettable experience. But I have to say that even though all the stuff that happened last year, I came back to Palfish out of necessity. So when I decided to delete the app on my iPad and just to do away with it, as I mentioned, I tried other jobs and it didn't work. So the only other option was, let me take my student loan, and instead of spending it all on the cabin, because the cabin where I was staying at was $1,200 per month, I decided to go to Hawaii. And I stayed with a friend there for a little bit of time to kind of get my feet on the ground. And I scheduled to go to a farm to work as like a work trade agreement in Maui. Now, when I first got there, of course, I was really excited. And I had been messaging and texting the manager of the farm, and things were not exactly as I had expected. So that's why, don't always place such high expectations on things. The best things in life usually happen when it's unexpected. When you least expect it and you get that great surprise, that's the most amazing feeling in the world. So I was going into this with expectations, and I was going into this with my own set of ideas, which it's okay. However, be prepared to have those plans get totally thrown out the window sometimes. So what was I going to do in Maui without the proper food that I needed? And it was just a really tough time, I have to say. So I decided to work in the kitchen, flipping burgers at a little cafe in Maui, in Kihei Beach. And I did it for a couple nights, and I gotta tell you, it was crazy. So I got a lot of respect to those who had to go through working in a kitchen during COVID with the mask and just smelling all the fumes and being around that stuff all day. Wow, that'll really do a number to your mental space. So I got out of that. I started doing some landscaping work with a guy named Jay, and I'll never forget you, Jay. Thank you so much. You helped me out a lot. And I was doing it for I was getting paid, and then I was also getting my meals as like a supplement. So I was getting my things taken care of that I needed to do, the basic necessities, but I had to find another place to go because my money was starting to dwindle, which was the opposite of what I wanted to happen. The plan was to go to the farm and eat from the farm, and then the supplemental money that I'll get, which is just like $40 or $50 a week on food, I could at least use that to buy the basic necessities like rice, bread, or sliced deli meat or something like that, something that will keep me full for the best bang for my buck. Well, things didn't work out with the manager. And so this is something that I want you all to realize is when things don't keep working out for you, don't give up on yourself, because everybody has different personalities, and yeah, we do make mistakes, and we have to own up to those mistakes and take responsibility. But at the same time, we have to realize who we really are, who we really came here to be. And that's something that it's not easy to actually be real with that question. Like, why am I really here? And who am I really meant to be with? And what kind of people are meant to be around me? And that kind of goes back to Ikigai. The Ikigai which is a Japanese philosophy to life, what the world needs, what I'm good at, what I love to do, and what I can get paid for, what people need, what I can help people with. So when you can put your philosophy to life together, then you can figure out where you got to go in life. But unfortunately, what happened to me was I was a bit impatient and I was a bit overreactive. But I have no regrets in this situation because it's all led me back to where I really need to be. Now, when I got to the breakdown moment in Maui of like October 2021, I've started to feel like I'm going to have to go back home, explain to my mom and dad again why things didn't work out. And by the way, this was the first time I was in the USA for like in a long time, because I had been out of the country for many years. So coming back to the USA, going back to Colorado, things not working out at the school. Then I left Palfish, and now there's only one thing that I can do is either work a 9 to 5, like a minimum wage job at 34 years old, which, hey, I know you got to do what you got to do. Or I could just go and do online teaching again and just sit there in these classes with pre-made curriculum and just get stipend financially that way with 40% salary reduction. So when I decided to open up Palfish again on my iPad, and I re-downloaded the app, and I have to say that when I open up to all these messages from students that I've known for many years, it felt like the best thing in the world in a long time, because everybody else that I had been with for the past year and then currently where I was on the farm, nobody knew me, trying to build up relationships and rapport of new people. But here are these people that I've been with for 5 years, and they're like, hey, what happened to you? Where have you been? We're waiting for you. And I know a lot of you have gotten that too. And that's a great feeling. That means that you've done something right. So I'm not up here tooting my horn, but I'm just saying that that's what really struck me. And I said, hey, well, I'm needed somewhere. This is where I'm most needed than anywhere else in my life. And this is what I can get at least paid to do something, so I don't have to go on food stamps, or I don't have to, go on unemployment or bum around my mom and dad or something like that. I got to at least work for myself. I got to at least do that. So I started back up again, waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., those early mornings, And then as we speed forward, because I'm actually going back February 22. So yeah, speed back forward. February 2022, this year. Thankfully, 3 weeks before Palfish let me go, I had already been on AmazingTalker. And that was the greatest decision that I made in 2022 so far, was to actually follow that intuition. Because you see, when I woke up and I saw the message on Palfish saying that you have been officially removed from the Official Kids course. Do not delete your account until you receive your last paycheck. And it said that I had received the 4 official complaints, which was totally out of line. And that was it. And the only thing that getting fired wasn't a big deal. It made me really nervous, and I was a bit frantic for like 72 hours because I didn't have a full schedule yet on AmazingTalker. But the number one thing was I couldn't even message the students that I had been with for so long. So that was the one thing that that really just struck my chord, So I found a way around that, but still wasn't able. Anyway, that's the past, you know what I mean? Now we're here, we're moving forward. An AmazingTalker, on that 3rd week, when Palfish let go, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is all I have. I got 2 students today, and then no students tomorrow, and then 3 students the next day. So if you're going through a tough time and you're frantic and you don't know how things are going to work out, I'm telling you my situation right now. You can go back and check one of my previous videos. I went $326 the first month on AmazingTalker, and then I bumped up to over $2,800 in just 1 month. Now, that wasn't just like some kind of magic trick or something. That's because this is my lifestyle. This is what I love to do. And those of you out there who are wondering about lesson plans so much and wondering about how to develop curriculum, if you want to pay for curriculum, go for it. If you want to have everything mapped out for you, go for it. But I've kind of switched from teaching kids now to teaching adults, business professionals, mostly in Taiwan, mainland China, Japan, Egypt, and other countries such as Palestine, Italy, and Brazil. And AmazingTalker has been a wonderful experience so far. So if it wasn't for AmazingTalker, then I really don't know where I'd be right now. And at the same time, I got to say thank you to my mentor. Thank you to everybody that's helped me along the way. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. And the support, the encouragement, when I've been in my deepest, darkest moments. And when I felt hopeless and I was freaking out. And I'm like, it's not going to work out. They don't care about me. No new students are messaging me. Nobody's answering the student matches. Like, I did everything you wanted me to do. It's still not working. Like, I went through all that. But you know what? That's why you got to have good people around you. And if you don't have good people around you at certain times in your life, that's going to be the case. You got to really take a step back. You got to take a step back. And this is what it's all about, the teaching aspect. If you really want to be a teacher, an educator, it starts with yourself. It starts with myself. It starts with self-development, right? So this video, Palfish finally fired me in February 2022, but that's not the end of my story. So if you were let go by an online teaching company, that's not the end of your story either. In 2016, I applied to Camden, and they did not accept me. But I didn't allow that to stop me. I said, hey, let me just keep going. There's other options out there. And things worked out. So, how are things on AmazingTalker now? Well, pretty good. What can I say? I know there's a 30% service fee. But at the same time, you break $1,000, it drops to like 20%. And if you get $3,000 in 1 month, there's no service fee at all. So you have to keep things into consideration. Like, it's a platform. If you use my sign up link, all you have to do is complete the online application, and then you have access to teach online. Millions of students have access to see your profile. That's a pretty amazing opportunity. And I think sometimes we can get sidetracked or distracted or lose focus with the big picture of things. The internet is a tool of opportunity. Online teaching platforms are there for you to use if you choose to do so. But remember this: your emotional intelligence is going to be the key indicator to how successful you will be in the long term and your overall satisfaction. Everybody has their own needs. People want to make money, working at home. That's cool. That's great. It's an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing gig. But I'm thinking 5-10 years later, and in a future video, I'm going to touch on the future of online teaching. I'm not up here like a prophet or anything like that by any nature. I'm not Nostradamus. But if you do go back to some of my videos from 2018, 2019, I said some things in these videos when I was at my wife's home talking about the future of online teaching, and things actually unfolded that way. So it's pretty cool to actually say stuff before it actually happens. Gives you more credibility. And the way that teaching is going to go is most likely virtual reality. Get a VR headset. Start to learn how to get in the metaverse. Make online interaction. There was an article today on my Google newsfeed on Google Chrome, and it was talking about how metaverse is like the Gutenberg press. Because the businesses and the companies are the entrepreneurs, the freelancers that get in there first and establish themselves. They're going to be set. And then everybody else is going to copy that. It's just like TikTok. A lot of these amazing online English teachers out there, these performers basically, making amazing videos on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. But guess what? Somebody else already did it. And yeah, we could copy them and get a couple thousand views. But the way to really make it is to be a trendsetter. So to everybody out there, hope this video was a bit insightful. Just want you to know that this is something I really wanted to record. Actually, I made this video 2 times already, many months ago, and I never put it out. You know why? Because I was scared. Because I was too concerned about what other people might say or what other people might think about me, talking about my story. Because Palfish was a huge part of my life. And when I did away with it, I thought that was it. I came back to it. I did what I had to do. And then, that was it. The show got canceled. Thankfully, I followed my intuition 3 weeks before, and I was on AmazingTalker at least to get established. And to Kathy and Michelle out there, thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. It was the most amazing demo class I ever had. If you guys are out there right now wondering what you could do to become a better online teacher, take the Myers-Briggs personality test. Find out what personality type you are. That's your first step. That's your first step. And the next step is to find out more information about the students you want to deal with. What age groups? You can't just say, oh, I want to teach age 5 to 14. I mean, you could. You can do that if you want to, but it'd be much better if you marketed yourself to like children ages 4 to 7 years old, or 10 to 14 years old, or high school students. Think about it in primary, which is elementary, middle school, which is usually like, I forget, I get it mixed up because in Hong Kong is different, but I'll just do American standards. Elementary, middle, and high school. You can break it up in those 3 categories. But then everything else over 18, it's going to be more business English, conversation English, IELTS, TEFL, test preparation for working and living abroad, which also includes job interviews. So you can join my Telegram group if you want to. It's always available. Just let me know in the comments section. And if you have any questions about Amazing Talker, let me know and I'll be glad to answer you in the comment section or even feature it in a future video. And to everybody out there who's been following me and subscribed to me on YouTube for a while now, I do appreciate it. And if there's anything that you need to see more here on YouTube, you got to let me know. You got to let me know. So that's it for now. This is probably my last Palfish video ever, I guess you could say. But it was an end of an era. Came back out of necessity. They let me go. And now I'm here doing my thing. Starting from zero. That's not easy. Starting from zero again. But I've learned a few things. And in a future video, I'm going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before teaching English online. And that does include getting royalties. Because I recorded a lot of picture books out there for kids with Palfish, and they pay me like pennies on the dollar, basically. I mean, it was cool at the time. But when you have millions of people listening to your books, yeah, that'd be great to get royalties. So, hey, mistakes learned. Learn from your mistakes. To everybody out there, have a great day. Thank you so much for your support here on YouTube. And if you need something, you got to let me know in the comment section.